week treat you guys?
Yeah, it was good. I thought our players responded well. Had a good week of preparation, on La Tech, but also at the same time getting their bodies back and get the guys fresh. So there's a fine line and doing a lot of self-scout, maintenance work, and still continuing to get better, and then also staying fresh. And so you have to be a mature football team in order to do it. And they had a good week, and felt like they bounced back, got in Sunday, and had an extra day of preparation there, and then had another great day today. So looking forward to this week preparation. Looking forward to beating this weekend against La Tech, a good football team.
Team a little healthier after the bye week?
Yeah, again, a lot of guys getting back and getting fresh, and so that's obviously something we've needed. Came at the right time.
Is Stone going to be okay to play? You kind of mentioned after the game that maybe it'd be the off season before you get him back. Or are you guys going to get him back before then? Or?
Yeah, he was back out there today, running around and doing some things out there, so he should be good.
Are you guys just healthier as a team after a week off, just in general?
I think anytime you kind of midway through the season, you're always going to have, even guys that are playing, you're going to have some different things on your body that aren't exactly 100%. That's part of football and playing the season. So just again, getting back, getting your rehab, getting in the training room, everything you need, taking care of your body with your rest, your nutrition is important, and also getting enough work in and getting ahead. So I feel like we're pretty healthy.
Did you get to work on some things in the off week with just the extra practice time you had?
Yeah, you get a chance to self-scout, work on some of your tendencies, figure out some different wrinkles you have to do. But that's any time in an off week, and that's what's pretty good about having it kind of midway through is you got a good idea of kind of where you're at mid-season and what you need to continually work on.
Now that you've had a chance to look at it over the off week here, you guys added some wrinkles to your offense. Going to the Wildcat, you got Stone in there, did some different things. Do you think those things really helped you, and can you carry those forward?
They did this past game plan. Obviously, that's something we saw on tape that we liked. But every game plan is different. Every system's structured a little bit different. How you have to try to attack it, how they're going to attack you, and so it's kind of that's kind of more game plan.
Pretty tough 6-game gauntlet here in the second half of the season. Just how are you feeling prepared for it?
They're all tough. First stretch was tough as well. So I feel like we're battle tested along. With our opponent, they're going to be battle tested. They played a tough schedule early on, and been in some tough ball games with a new staff. And, you can really see them starting to really play a lot more free, understanding what they're trying to get accomplished, just being around each other for a stretch. Players and coaches alike. Coach Cumbie does a great job. He's a great coach. And so we know they're 1-0 in conference. They just come off a big conference win, and I know they're looking forward to this stretch as well. So they don't get any easier every week. You got to prepare on trying to focus on going 1-0, getting a week better. Still a lot of areas we need to improve on as a football team, and so I know it'll be a great game this weekend.
What is it about Louisiana Tech that stands out to you and have a chance to look at?
Obviously, they got really good players. Their athleticism and speed. Offensively, they've been really clicking here. Being an explosive offense, forcing you to keep it pretty balanced to where how they're attacking you, and you can't get too heavy on one way or the other because they can hurt you in a lot of different areas. Defensively, they do a great job up front. They have good pressures, obviously sound in what they do, very sound on special teams. So again, it's a very athletic team. It's been a team that has caused us some different issues in the past. We got to make sure we focus in on doing our job and getting a great game plan together and going out and executing the way we need to in order to beat a good football team.
And Parker McNeil seems like he's been everywhere over the course of his career. and has kind of found a home there at Louisiana Tech. What do you see in him and, as their quarterback?
He's managing the game very well. Obviously, Coach Cumby has a lot of experience coaching quarterbacks in that system. Really looks like he's comfortable, understands it, and he's getting the ball to his playmakers. And that's what makes you become explosive as an offense, and that's what they did this past week. Again, only getting better, and so he's doing a great job for them.
You guys won 7 in a row in Conference USA, dating back to last year. What's gone so well for you guys in league play over that span?
Taking it 1 week at a time. And I think, I feel like in our conference, there's a lot of great teams. Week in and week out, anybody can beat anybody. Comes down to execution and preparation. I feel like in this stretch, we've prepared the right way. Kind of found our identity in those games and stuck to it, and played complementary football, which is something you have to do. So that's something we'll continue to work on. And again, looking forward to really focusing on, it's not about the last 7, it's about the one this week. And so that's what we continually try to focus on is the one coming up, and that's the most important one.
I was going to ask you about that. Do you guys have developed a better idea of who you are over that span as a team?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, coaches and players alike, it's all of us. Figuring out kind of what fits you and understanding what your strengths and weaknesses are, continuing to try to build and grow on both of those. But I think having an identity, obviously, is very important. But then also understanding that and going out and executing the way you prepared. And I think some of it is the execution, some of it's a mentality. Each and every week you have to come prepared in order to play 4 quarters of football. Being able to overcome adversity as a team, that's a mentality. And it takes all 3 phases coming together and being able to do that. So, it's something we got to continue to grow on and continue to develop.
Has the stability at quarterback helped? After Mason left, you kind of bounced from guy to guy to guy, but over the stretch, it seems you kind of settled in with Austin, and he's developed over that span.
Yeah, I think that's obviously a big key when you have that guy you feel really comfortable with, and who's really gotten better and learned and grown throughout his experiences. But it doesn't come down to one player. There's a lot of factors that go into it, whether it be what you have to do in order that week to win a football game. Defensively, being able to make offense one-dimensional. Offensively, being able to attack and be balanced enough to where they're going to take away certain things in your game plan, and you have to be balanced enough and good enough to be able to, whether it's running the football and or being able to have to be explosive because they're going to add extra hats. So there's a lot of factors that really come into it. The biggest thing is locking in that week and having the right mentality, playing well together, and overcoming that adversity when it hits, because it's going to hit. It's going to hit for both teams. It's just a matter of who can overcome.
Has the continuity with coordinators in the setup with your staff helped as well? Because you have Phil there, and then you have Blesh in there calling plays. Is that really?
That helps when you have that stability. Again, there's a lot of factors come into it. The stability's been great. I feel like we have a great staff. No egos. We're all on the same page, pulling the rope in the same direction. We have a plan going into each and every game, how we're going to attack as a team, and just trying to execute that plan as best we can.
Has health also played a factor? You guys have been a lot healthier at wide receiver this year.
That plays a big factor. Health is key. There's going to be guys that go out every year during the season. Guys are going to have to step up, and guys have. Guys have stepped up, and when it's their time and been prepared and ready, to go in there and help this football team win, which has been key. Because a lot of the times it can get frustrating. You can get frustrated. You can get down a little bit and not prepare the right way, feeling like you're not getting the reps you want. And then when it's your time, you're not ready. So guys have been ready when it's their time to step in and make plays, and that's been key.
Tyler Grubbs, 48 tackles for them this year. How do you game plan around a defensive presence like him and limit his effectiveness?
You got to understand where he's at, but he's a great player, and he's a very tough player, but also just his effort, his mentality. You can tell he loves ball, and he's made a ton of plays for him. He's a really good player, and probably one of the best in our league.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about Logan Wilson. He started the last couple games for you guys. Seems like he's finally kind of found his niche and coming into his own. What have you seen from him over the last
He's
few
a prime example of a guy being prepared when it's his time to get in and make plays. He's done that, and that's a credit to him, credit to his coaches. But he's done great. When he stepped up, and he's made a lot of plays for us. And he's had a great attitude, an awesome dude to coach. He's a guy that loves ball as well, and so I'm proud of the way he's responded.
Is he one of those guys who just finally found the right spot? I mean, he bounced from school to school to school, and
You'd have to ask him some of that, right?
Yeah.
But just from the time I've been around him, he's been a great teammate. He's worked extremely hard, great attitude, and he's out there every day. He loves ball, and I think that's a lot of it. Just going out and preparing and having fun with it, getting your teammates better, and continuing to develop. And that's what he's developed into a guy that's made plays in our system. That's what you need.
got a relationship with Cumbie? Do you guys go back a little bit?
Yeah, I've known Sonny a long time. We've, obviously, it was kind of a crossover period when I was coming into Tech. He was actually going out. I actually went out to the Holiday Bowl where he was the starting quarterback. So I've known Sonny a long time, been in the same system. Great coach, great person. Obviously I have a relationship with him.
Kind of from that same coaching tree there?
Yeah, just around there, coaching tree, what we've done. Same circle.
Anything else?
That's what I was looking for.
All right,
Thanks,
thanks,
Coach.
Coach. Thank you.
Well, how did the off week go for you guys?
Doing good. Just dialing in on, see what they doing, and then just keying in on the key players, stuff like that.
Was that break kind of something y'all needed after the week 0 start?
Yeah, I think so. We've been practicing since fall camp. Getting people back from injury, just make you feel good, like rested and ready to go.
What do you see in Louisiana Tech?
They got some firepower, but it's just, we just got to dial in, do what we're supposed to do, and come out with the victory.
Was against FAU just kind of where you want to be as a defense?
I think we can be way better, honestly. So it's just, I think we're just really just getting started, just chemistry going good, so I think we can be way better. Ceiling is real high.
Thanks. I just want to ask you a little bit about your path. It seems like you've taken kind of the long route to get to the opportunity here to play.
Right.
What, did you just have to stick with it through all these different stops and things that happened to you along the way?
Just have faith in God. Cause this is my dream. Dream is to play. So just have faith in God and just really just throughout anything, just always believe. So I got here.
Yeah, because you started out at Kansas State.
Yes, sir.
And then you ended up at Louisiana Row for a minute.
Yes, sir.
And then came here. So how did that all transpire to get you here?
Really just, cause this is actually closer to home for me.
Mm-hmm.
So this is closer to home. And I was just like, I need to be around family. COVID happened. Granny got sick. So it's like, man, I just need to get closer to home. And North Texas just was the place to be. And I had to miss last year. I transferred in, so just coming in ready to work.
So you said your grandmother got sick there. Would she get COVID or something?
Yes, sir. She got COVID.
Was that part of the reason you left Louisiana Monroe?
Yes, sir.
What's her name?
Rosie.
Rosie. She got the same last name as you?
Reeves.
Rosie Reeves?
Yes, sir.
R-E-E-V-E-S?
R-E-A-B-E-S.
R-E-A-B-E-S. So when did she get COVID?
She got COVID probably when it first started, because I was in Monroe when it first happened. So when it first happened, she got it. She was real sick. So and for me, then we all had to go back home. So I was just like, man, I don't know if I want to go back. So I went back for a couple of weeks, and then we could do that COVID pass or that forgot what it was called.
Opting out?
Yeah, opting out. So I opted out. I just came home. I wanted to be close to family.
So you're sitting in Louisiana Row, you end up opting out, and then how'd you end up here?
Actually, Coach Jennings actually
Mhm.
texted me. It's like, you could come up here. So when I got here, he got fired, and Coach Bennett and them came. I just stuck with it.
So you just decided to come to North Texas anyway?
Yes, sir.
Did it kind of work out just to come here?
God's story. It worked out as best as it can.
And what, they put you on scholarship right at the end of spring ball, right?
Right in the fall camp.
Oh, yeah, at the end of fall camp. So did you just have to work at it to, once you got here, to kind of get away from being a walk-on to the point where you're playing and having a scholarship and all that?
Yeah, it was. I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of difficult because I was always used to being on like scholarship everywhere I've been. So me coming in as a walk-on, it took a toll on me, but just kept fighting, just kept working every day. And, God will bless you.
So what was it like to get out there as a starter after all you went through?
It was excitement. It was relief. I just felt like I can do more, but I'm glad I got my feet wet. It's been the first full game since really high school. So.
That's a good point. So you come out of high school as a top player,
Mm-hmm.
and then you kind of bounce around. Did you kind of just have to keep? Well, I mean, you talked about keeping the faith with it, but did you always believe that eventually you'd find some place where you get to play?
I mean, it was some times in the rows I was like, man, I don't know, but it was just I just knew I could play. I was always work hard, always work out, always do all that thing. So, and I just know the game of football, so I just knew it was just somehow it just come to me.
So was the feeling great to get out there and contribute, get a couple pass breakups like that?
Yes, sir. It was fun.
So what's next for you? You just try to build on that, or?
Yes, sir. Ceiling is real high. Just keep pushing, keep going to work, and just ready to work.
How did coming in as a walk-on, first game kind of change your mentality?
It make you more hungry, like just different things. Sitting there taking notes and just always being on point. 'Cause, you're not really here for them, so like you just got to really just dial in, take all the coaching, and just work from there.
So like a sort of pressure, good or bad pressure, do you think?
I say it's a little bit of medium, like a little bit between both.
I want to ask you a little bit about why it's working for you guys. You've run off 7 straight Conference USA wins here. Why are you guys doing so well in league play, you think?
Just the coaching. They're putting us in right positions to make plays. And, we just got to go out there and make plays. Like, just keep the confidence up, keep the energy up, and just go out there and play. We all know how to play. We all know football. So we just got to go out there and do it.
You have a better understanding what you're trying to get done in Bennett's system after some time in it?
Yes, sir.
And then halfway through this season, it's kind of a different story from last season. 1-5 last season to now 3-3 here. Do you feel like y'all are more competing for CUSA rather than clawing back?
We're competing. Yeah, we're competing. We know we can have a chance to be in the championship game. We know we can get there. We know we can win bowl games. So all that is, we just got to go down there and just do it. Go out there Saturday and just play. Take the coaching and just keep going forward.
Do you guys have a confidence at this point when you get to conference games that you're going to be able to pull them out?
We got confidence. We got a lot of confidence that we can win any game that we can play. Like, it's no matter.
Is there a certain point where you kind of like flip that switch and we're able to turn up that confidence like to another level at any point during the season?
Yes, sir. It was just, first 4 games was just a little shaky, getting loose, getting our feet wet. But like when it's time to dial in and go out there and just play with conference play, that's when it gets serious.
Cool. Well, thanks. Thanks, Logan.
Thanks, Logan.
All right, Sean, so how'd the off week go?
Well, I think we did a great job of staying focused, working to get better, but also getting some recovery in and getting guys the reps they needed and stuff like that. So overall, I think it was a very successful week.
Kind of needed that break after starting at week 0?
I wouldn't say need it. It's nice to have. I think with me, I kind of just get locked in during the season, and it's one of those things where it's just a week-by-week thing. I don't really look too far ahead. So I kind of just roll, and when it comes, it's nice to have, but I wouldn't say we needed it, type deal. But it's really nice to get a chance to step back and look at some things like that.
What do you see in Louisiana Tech now that you guys are preparing for them?
They're a good team. They've kind of found their stride. They've played some. They're better than their record shows. I mean, they played an SEC team in Missouri. They played Clemson, South Alabama. Those are not bad teams. So you can't be fooled by their record. They're definitely got some threats out there. They have good receivers, make plays on the ball, and they also can get the ball in their hands and take it far that way. So the quarterback's kind of found his stride too. He'll hurt you a couple different ways, so we really just got to be locked in on our keys this week. Make sure we don't give up any big plays and keep everything in front of us.
Feel like you found that equilibrium y'all needed versus FAU, just kind of that balance you needed on defense?
Yeah, I feel like we did. I think it was one of those things that had been coming. We kind of had a little bit of a new group this year. We had a lot of pieces from last year, but it was still, anytime you start a season, it's a new team. And I think those first couple games we needed to mesh a little bit more and kind of put it all together. The offense might have played well and the defense didn't, or the defense might have played well and the offense didn't. I think at FAU we really have a lot more. We kind of left some stuff out there, but I think we did a good job of putting everything together as a team. And if we can do that going forward, I think we'll be very successful. Logan's
getting to play a little bit more. Logan Wilson, has he kind of come on for you guys to give you some help in the back end?
Yeah, Logan's a great athlete. He's a good kid. His story's kind of different. He's been in a couple different places, and it kind of took him a little bit to find his niche and where he would help us. But I think he's been a great attribute on the field for us.
Parker McNeil, their quarterback, fourth in the SBS in yards per completion, threw for 4 touchdowns last game. How do you game plan for someone that's kind of getting hot at the right time?
Right. Yeah. Him and then the two of the receivers are top 5 in the nation in yards per catch. Like I said, you got to keep everything in front of you. If you watch some of the film, there's some times where some other teams, were confused maybe, or just didn't communicate. But those times where guys were running kind of wide open. And then there's also times when those receivers just make great plays. So it's one of those things where we have to communicate. Everybody's got to be on the same page. Read your keys, keep them in front of you, and then when the ball's in the air, you got to make a play because those guys will. If you don't, they'll make the play.
Halfway through the season, it's kind of a different story than it was last season. Obviously, 1-5 start from last season to this season. Now, do you feel like you're kind of competing for CUSA rather than clawing back?
Yes, I definitely think so. I mean, last year for me, my first game started was that Rice game, and it got to a point where I feel like we were honestly like in playoff mode. It's like win or go home type deal. We battled and we came together and we got things together offensively, started working better, defense started working, and we came back. But this year I feel like we're now in a spot where we still have the chip on our shoulder, like we have something to prove, and we'll always have that. We'll always have the chip that people don't believe necessarily we can do what we can do, but we know we can. But it's a different mindset because, like you said, it doesn't feel like we're calling from behind. It more feels like we're kind of in the pack, and it's just every week proving ourselves that we are who we say we are and who we think we are.
I was going to ask you about that because you guys have won 7 in a row now in Conference USA. So why all of a sudden is this working? It's dating back to last year.
I think it's a combination of a couple of things. I think last year we adjusted some things scheme-wise. I mean, last year, if you look at the first six games last year, the amount of injuries and personnel changes we had on both sides of the ball was significant. It was one of those things where we tried to find our footing, but it was hard because each week we'd have to adapt to a new scenario. But I think the past 7 games, like you said, we really just meshed as a team together and played our best ball, not just on defense or not just on offense or just on special teams, but as a complete unit. And I think sometimes that we feed off each other, and it's just really worked for us. Also, our mindset, we like I said, every week we're trying to prove what we already know, that we're a team that compete with anybody in this league, and we're going to do that every week. It's just we know that we have to prove it.
Do you have a better feeling or a better idea of what you're doing in Bennett's system now than maybe you did at the beginning of last year?
Yeah, definitely. So the system that I came from, was much different. We ran a lot of stuff. This system is a lot more simple, but it's complex in other different areas. But I definitely think the whole team, especially in the back end as a whole, we all have a better idea, what we're doing. And I think a lot of guys, we can all kind of flip-flop back and forth and play, either side. So, not only do I know what, my side of the field's doing, and I know what the other side of the field's doing, and then vice versa, those guys on the other side of the field, now are able to understand the whole concept rather than just their individual role. So I would say, yeah, as a group, we definitely know this system a lot better.
Is there just more confidence with this team now during the 7-game run than maybe you had before?
I wouldn't say that, we lacked confidence before, but I mean, with anything, if you start being successful and you start winning, it's one of those things where, you want to be confident, not, you want to border that line of confident and cocky, but you never want, you always want to be humble. It's never, we never think that we're just going to show up on a field and beat anybody. It's going to take our best effort every single week to win. If we go out there and think they're just going to roll the ball and then we're going to win, then that's when you get beat bad. So, like I said, it's every week. We know what we have. We know what we can do, but we have to go out and prove that, to everybody else. And like I said, we just keep that chip on our shoulder. We might be 7-0 in conference in the last 7 games, but the mindset's never changed. We're still, fighting every week, like our backs against the wall.
Is that kind of what's paid off for you to have that mindset?
Yeah, I think so.
Maintain it?
Yeah, when you lose that mindset, when you get complacent, that's when, trouble starts happening. Anytime you think, oh, we've made it, oh, we've done this, that's when you get beat and people come out in a bear sheet. So you always have to have like a chip on your shoulder mindset where we're proving what we already know we are.
Rich Tejada, great game last week, obviously. How have you seen him grow from taking over in El Paso to now?
Yeah, I'm super proud of Ridge. I came up to him to the game and said something because, Ridge, if you remember back to the Rice game, Ridge and I, we both started that game for the first time. And if you watch the game, Ridge and I had a rough game. I know myself, we both had some penalties. I gave up a 4th down play on the last drive that kind of led me to time. We both didn't play well. And I think throughout that season, we just kept getting better and better and better and better. And then the off season, Ridge stepped, JD was here, he was healthy again, so Ridge didn't play as much in off season and then in the first game. But as soon as JD went down, Ridge was ready. Ridge was already prepared. He'd been getting better every and every game. So I think it's just a testament to Ridge and his work and his next man up kind of mentality, knowing that he can play at any moment. And I think he's really done a good job of coming on, and he's a vital piece to our defense now.
How'd the off week go?
Off week was great. Kind of got our bodies back, something we needed because we played in week 0. So feeling fresh. Felt like there's a lot of energy on the field today, which was great to see. And so I'm excited for this week and trying to go 1-0 this week.
Did you guys have a chance to maybe work on some things and tune some things up over the course of that extra practice time?
Yeah, so we're just, obviously working on, executing each play, really getting on the same page with the receivers, trying to keep that momentum going, whether it's stemming routes, our option routes. And so, for me, making sure I'm making the right reads and saying, who can get under these routes and situations and, a lot of 3rd down stuff, trying to stay on the field. So really locked into that over the off week and going into this week so we can execute this Saturday.
So what do you see in Louisiana Tech?
Louisiana Tech, they mix up their coverages. I think their corners are good. They're solid players that came from SFA with their defensive coordinator, so they're good. They look comfortable in the system. Safeties are all around the ball, making plays in the passing game, and then coming down and sticking their heads in there in the run fit. And so linebackers look physical, look like good players, and defensive line looks solid too. So we're gonna have to go in and execute and really play a good game.
Louisiana Tech was a game that you went in through halfway through the game, if I remember correctly, from last season. Is there just a little? Does it make you feel a little better to actually play all 4 quarters against them this time?
Yeah. No, it'd be great. I think last year was kind of the Louisiana Tech was kind of my first started playing, so that kind of got me rolling. Started feeling good about getting my confidence up against them, and so. They're a good football team. Obviously, it's a new year. They've got new coaches and everything. So, different game plan, and no matter who's across the field, I just kind of want to execute at a high level, better than the week before, and I feel like we'll have a good chance.
Why, if you look back to last year, you guys have won 7 straight in Conference USA. So why is it working all of a sudden here in these last 7 games?
I just think we're locked in conference, and obviously these conference games mean a lot. Our goal is to win a conference championship and to get to a bowl game. So we got on a roll last year, and we've kept it going this year. And so I think we've got a mature team that knows these games aren't easy. So our work weeks have been looking really good, and we continue to fight each week in conference. We know these games are extremely important, and I think we have great confidence in ourselves right now, and so we'll just keep rolling with it and try to keep it going.
Pretty much a very different season through 6 games this season opposed to last season. Do you just feel like the team is competing for something more than just bowl contention this season?
Yeah, I think this year we feel like we've got a chance to really compete in the conference championship, and but that starts with winning each week. Can't look ahead into that. We feel confident in what we have, and that's good. But we don't want to look into the future. That's obviously a goal for us. But literally our game plan each week is execute and consistency. So we like literally drilled that into our heads over and over and over. And so I'm up here saying it all the time. Y'all probably tired of me saying it, but that's what we preach, and so that's what we do on the field, and that's what the coaches say. So I think our guys have really bought into that and trying to get better each practice and each week.
Has going out there every week made you feel more comfortable in the system and with what you're doing?
Definitely. I think the more you play, the more different looks you get, the more confidence you have, and the slower the game becomes. And so just try to go out there and relax. Not trying to be Superman, just go out there and make the right reads, get the balls to our guys, and to just execute. And so, playing a lot more snaps this year, we feel a lot better.
It seems like you guys have had more stability with your coaching staff during this winning streak here. Blesh has kind of gotten into his spot and has been there. You got Bennett there. He's been there through the whole time. Has that stability paid off for you guys as you guys have won these games?
No, I think that's huge. I think Blesh has done a really, really good job of preparing us as a quarterback unit and really, diving into the game plan and then the playbook over the offseason. And so he's done an extremely good job. Have all the confidence in the world in him and what we're trying to execute. I think Quinn Chambord does a good job, and so Coach Luttrell, Coach Maynard with the receivers, and then Coach Cobbs too. So Coach Mays as well. Coach Clem has done an amazing job with the offensive line. So really, Blesh is obviously the kind of the ringleader with the OC, but he's done a great job. But I think it trickles down to him being a great leader and leading us on the offensive side of the ball.
Do you guys have more confidence in what you're doing across the board as a team?
Yeah, I think our confidence is really high right now. And so, we feel like we can run the ball really well, but also we've been executing on our plays, our play action shots. So when you can do both of those, your team grows confidence. And so we got to just keep executing on both sides of that and continue to grow our confidence.
Has the health of a wide receiver helped you during this streak so you're not throwing it to Rod every play?
No doubt. Having a lot of weapons out there has been huge for us this year, as opposed to last year where they're running 100 plays a game. And, eventually you're going to get tired, obviously. So, having fresh legs in there, guys that can run great routes and then win on one-on-one battles, and guys that I've been working with this year, and then over the off season. So we're building our confidence with each other as the season goes, and so it's been great to have healthy receivers.
Then just for yourself, you're approaching career highs in pretty much every stat. Just what has really been the catalyst for your performances just halfway through the season?
I'm just trying to execute each play. I hate to say that, but because I keep saying it over and over, but that's all I'm trying to do. And I think the stats come when all 11 guys are doing their job. So you know, I get kind of the praise when things are going good and the stats are high, but, you know, also when things aren't going good, I'm gonna get the lows too. So, you know, I don't worry about the stats. The stats will come with great play and great execution. So just go out there and execute and let the stats do their thing.
You know Cumbie at all?
Yeah, he recruited me in high school. He was at Texas Tech, and then when I got done playing baseball, he was at TCU. So we talked a little bit when I came back, and so now he's at La Tech. But yeah, got to talk to him a little bit. Don't know him like a whole personally, like a lot personally, but definitely recruited me, and great guy, great coach, and so I'm excited to get to play against him.
So you did enjoy getting to know him at least a little bit?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's exciting. Obviously, coming back, playing baseball. You know, obviously, before baseball, I was committed to TCU, so that was kind of one of the schools I wanted to talk to, and he was, awesome talking to me, and he even said I had a spot, as a walk-on there. So, great guy, great coach, and looking forward to playing against him.
Yeah, so what, he offered you a walk-on spot at
TCU
when he came back? Was that something you appreciated that he?
Oh yeah,
gave you
no
out?
doubt. Especially old guy coming back, hadn't played in 8 years. For him to have the confidence that I could still be a good football player was awesome. And so, all the coaches that believed in me thought I had something. I appreciate them a lot.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Austin.
Thanks, Austin.